Welcome guys to a birth chart presentation. If you guys new to the channel, make sure that you like, share, comment, but most importantly, click the link that's either in the comments or in the description in order to join the Glimpses community today, because there's only like 11 spots left of free spaces before we start charging $9.99 a month. So join while it's free, because after that it's no longer going to be free. You're going to be grandfathered in for life. But if you do miss it, you can just be $10 a month for life, because the price is going to keep increasing. So why do you keep dating the same kind of person over and over again based on your birth chart? And we're going to be using one of my students' birth charts here in order for you to understand this concept. So when we look in a chart, we have the different houses. Houses, also known as bhava in Sanskrit, these are the different houses. First house, second house, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And I'll take a screenshot and show it to you so you can have like an overview of it apart from the screen here. So here, let me put this down a bit so you guys can see better. So there are two things that people don't know about when it comes to a chart, and this is something that you can only really see in a Vedic astrology chart, not in a Western astrology chart. Okay, is there are two different kind of partners, love interest in your chart. There's a kind of partner that you want versus the kind of partner you tend to get. Okay, so the kind of partner that you want is going to be seen based on where Libra is located in your chart. Libra is known as the 7th zodiac sign. This is Libra right here. Okay, because it's 7. 7 is the 7th zodiac sign. That's Libra, or also known as Tula in Sanskrit. And then we have the kind of partner you tend to get. So that is the house, which is the significator of relationships. It's not the only thing, but one of the significators is relationships. Why? Because the 7th house is the house of other people, right? And how do you get into a relationship? By meeting other people. So this is the significator of relationship along with 7th, okay, which is Libra. Now, based on where Libra is located, it shows us the kind of partner you want, right? But here is showing us the kind of partner you tend to get. And the reason why I call this themes, right? And every single house, you have different themes that are occurring. And people believe that if you have no planets in specific houses, means that the house is empty. The house is not empty. This house, not only does it have a zodiac sign, because there's 12 zodiac signs, same way how there's 12 houses. People believe that if there is no planet, meaning graha, in a specific house, that house has nothing going on. That's not true, because they also believe that if a planet is in a specific zodiac sign, any other zodiac sign that doesn't have a planet in it means that they don't have that zodiac sign. That's also not true. Everyone has all the zodiac signs. Everyone has Cancer, everyone has Aquarius, everyone has Sagittarius, everyone has Libra. It's just that because the zodiac signs always stay in a chronological order, it's always moving in this direction, counterclockwise. And because it's always moving in a counterclockwise direction, it's never mismatching and changing position. It's always staying in a chronological order. So we have the kind of partner that you want, okay? And when it comes to the kind of partner that you want, we're going to use this chart for example. Their Libra is here in the 3rd house, meaning that for their Libra, right, it's in the 3rd house. So 3rd house are a few things which I'll mention, many things, but just a few things which I'll mention related to this placement is they want a partner where they're doing activities with them, right? So they're always learning new things together, doing activities together, going to the gym. They almost want a partner that's like a best friend, okay? Someone who can learn things with them, do different activities with them, be active with them, things like that, learning new skills with them. And also communication is very important between them. So there's one kind of partner who, again, like a best friend. Best friend is usually someone who you can speak hours to about whatever nonsense, whatever. Okay. Now, based on the two planets that are here, well, Graha, the star, Sun, and Mercury, is going to determine and alter that, because now it's going to be filtered through Tula, Libra, being in this house. But the kind of partner they've been getting is Aquarius, being in the 7th house. So the kind of partner they've been getting, if we look at who rules Aquarius, is Saturn. And Saturn, we know, is the planet that is farthest away from all the other planets, from the sun. And it's also the slowest. And because it's the farthest away from the sun, it's also the coldest. So if we take those logical things that we know about Saturn, Shani, and we translate that into human relationship, they tend to get a partner who's more cold. And the one that rules Aquarius is not only Saturn. Okay, Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. It doesn't only rule Saturn. It doesn't only rule Aquarius. Aquarius is also ruled by Rahu. And Rahu, as we know, is illusion and delusions. It's much more than that, but on a basic, logical, first base level, it is smoky mirrors, okay? Not being able to see things for what they are. Now, if someone has a significant Rahu in their chart, it's going to show them wanting to bring out the truth through those smoky mirrors, right? But on a basic level, they tend to get a person where their relationship is more of a front. You know, like you'll have a family gathering, you'll have friends gathering, and you guys will present as everything's okay. But the moment you go back home, it's like a completely different relationship. It's as if you guys don't even know each other, or you guys don't really get along. And whenever you guys are in front of people, it's always a front. It's always kind of like a show. Like everything is always fine, but behind the scenes, things are not fine. And again, because of that aspect, that symbolism of smoky mirrors that are happening here now in the house. Because remember, this house is where you get married, right? This is this area of your life is like your relationships, right? But also significant other, because it's right across from you. This is you, the ascendant, your body, your head, what's going on in your head. This is you. And right across from you is your significant other, your other quote unquote half, right? But the kind of partner you want is here. Now, by understanding what to avoid and by understanding what you actually want in a partner, because you can have all the ideal ideas of what you want in a partner, right? You can have all those ideal ideas based on social media, based on what just makes sense. But unless you know clearly the exact kind of partner of what you want, you're never going to be able to correctly check off the boxes when you're dating or when you're meeting new people. You're always going to end up more with this if you don't know what you're actually wanting and what to actually avoid if you're not happy with what you've been getting so far. That's why you always have that one friend where every time they get into a relationship, they end up getting someone who's a little similar. Maybe they have similar birthdays, maybe they're into similar things. Maybe every time they just get into some kind of reoccurring theme. That's why I call it themes. A theme that's happening in their relationship life that they may not be enjoying. And in order to change that theme, you first need to understand why that theme is happening and what to go for instead. And a lot of times people are utilizing their negative experiences to not get into a relationship because they're just not understanding why they keep attracting similar situations, or they kind of just gloss it over, put some sprinkle on it and just say like everything's fine when it's not fine, right? So this is how you can tell the kind of relationships you want versus the kind of relationships you tend to get. We can see if we can look over a different chart. Now, on a basic level, there are certain things that are also important in a relationship that you can look at. Like, for example, in the 5th house here, this is the house of romance. Okay, so this is where children happens in romance. So that's one thing which we'll speak about in a different video. Okay, and then this is where the legal marriage happens as well. Now, we're not going to get into all of that, but just wanted to note that. So we can look at one more chart. Let's see. Here's another perfect example. This chart, this person tends to attract a person who is a bit unstable. So a person who is getting some kind of, they tend to bring a lot of secrets or unexpected events, things like that, into their relationship, right? That's because Scorpio is here. Not because Scorpio is a quote unquote bad sign. You have to remember that signs are not personalities, they are qualities that are being expressed in a specific house. And it also does not mean that the person that you tend to date is usually has a Scorpio sun. No, throw all of that out. Because remember, we all have the zodiac signs. Scorpio is originally from the 8th house. Okay. And the 8th house is many different things. You can say death and rebirth. You can say transformation. You can say moksha, as in like enlightenment. But on a very basic, logical, mundane level, it's unexpected events. It's sudden ups and downs and sudden events on a basic, mundane level. Okay, we're just looking at surface level stuff here because I'm not reading anyone's specific chart at the moment. I'm going over like in general how to tell the kind of partner you want versus the kind you tend to get. So their Libra is here. Okay, they want someone who's a bit more on the organized end. Organized. And when I say organized, I mean kind of like a person who they can have like a routine together with. Okay, someone who's a little bit more of a healer as well. But that again is going to depend on the different placements we're looking at here. On a basic level, they may want someone who are those qualities that I just mentioned, but they end up getting someone like this is someone who's a bit more stable, right? Like this 6th house is all about the day-to-day grind, right? They kind of have their stuff together. They end up getting someone who don't have their stuff together. I actually know someone where every time they got into a relationship, they're not because of them, they're not bad omen, but their partner ends up dying, or they ended up getting, they were already sick, or they have health issues. Like, a lot of unexpected events, a lot of, but it's also a lot of things that brings rebirth. Okay, it's a lot of things that allows transformation to happen in a person's life, but sometimes they can be very intense, and that's a very intense energy. It's a very karmic sign. If you look at it, it's ruled by the most 2 violent planets, Mars, Mangala, and Ketu. Okay, so the thing about this though is that this person is a Taurus ascendant, meaning what? It's originally from the 2nd house. So one of the things that's very important for them that they actually tend to think about is financial security, right? It's really important for them. It's one of the things that they tend to think about: how to save money, how to have money, make money, and also other things like how to be beautiful. They like to make their face beautiful, beauty, things like that. Even if it's a male, how to look good, look nice, and they want that stability. But they tend to attract this. And you know what's the crazy part? They actually kind of like this because it's the opposite of them. It's kind of like how on a basic level, no diss to the LGBTQ community, just saying that on a basic level, like just biologically, basically, for a majority of people, usually a man is seeking a woman and a woman is seeking a man, right? They're seeking the opposite of themselves. So here, this person is seeking the opposite for themselves, and they kind of tend to like this. This is why sometimes you see people in a relationship where a person is very like unpredictable, up and down, things of that nature, and they end up not leaving, or they end up liking it, secretly liking it. They don't say that they like it, but they kind of just stick with it, right? Rather than trying to find the person who's on top of their day-to-day grind, right? So this is one of the ways that you can see why are you dating the same people over and over and over again. And like this, when we go over your chart, it allows me to dive in, see the kind of partner you've been getting, have you understand the kind of partner you want. Based on the placements that's there in the chart, allows us to fine-tune that. Now, for a woman's chart, their husband is going to be Jupiter. Okay, so we would look specifically at Jupiter and other placements in order to know what kind of person not only do you want, but that you can marry. And then for a male's chart, we will be looking at their Venus, because even though Venus is not a woman, Venus is a significator of women. So for the wife, for a male's chart, we will be looking at Venus and seeing how that's going. Now, the significator of relationship itself for both parties is going to be Venus. And in terms of other things like children and things like that, we would be looking at Rahu, Saturn, and Jupiter. Okay, but For you guys who wants to understand and get a reading to understand this and also understand everything else about your life, understand how to activate your bank balance, money, and all these different things, and just like your life purpose and everything, and start your Vedic astrology reading journey, you can click the link in the description. It'll also be in the comment down below for you guys to join the community. Right now there's like 11 spots left. There's like 4 people waiting to be let into the group, and it's going to be free. Once those people join in, we're going to start charging $9.99 for people to start being in the community, in the group, and you'll be able to start, if you don't start your reading right away, that's perfectly fine. You get to have access to bunch of videos, the mini manifestation course, and many other things that's going to be available in the community for you to go ahead and indulge in and start getting closer to the life that you desire, to the life that you want to manifest. Remove those wealth and abundance blocks, or not even that, just to understand where are you most supported in your chart in order to manifest the things that you're required to manifest now. Okay. Apart from that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is daily update 6, and I'll see you tomorrow for daily update 7, because every day we're posting now.